afterwards, but seeing this trailer, I'm so excited. I might be a little biased because it's Robert Pattinson, and I love him. I just finished reading Midnight Sun, reading about him being a sparkly vampire, but he's Batman now, and I just think the whole thing looks cool, and I'm definitely going to be seeing it.
So I can just say, what are your thoughts about this Batman teaser? Who wants to go first?
Any of us. You pick.
We're going to CaseyJane.
Oh, hello. I'm personally very excited about it. If anyone knows me, I don't really watch any DC. I'm just working my way up Marvel right now. So we'll get to DC afterwards. But seeing this trailer, I'm so excited. I might be a little biased because it's Robert Pattinson, and I love him. I just finished reading Midnight Sun, reading about him being a sparkly vampire, but he's Batman now, and I just think the whole thing looks cool, and I'm definitely going to be seeing it.
Well, you are, you're younger than us and a woman, so what do you think about, what's your thoughts on Robert Pattinson as Batman?
I think he's going to, I think it's going to be great, personally.
Is it hot to see him in the outfit?
I mean, yes, absolutely.
Okay,
absolutely.
That's what
I'm talking about, general overall, though, I think it's going to be good. But I am also very biased, so keeping that out there.
You're biased because you're a fan of his?
Yes.
Are you a fan of his from Twilight, or are you a fan of his from the stuff that he's done? Because he's done some pretty weird stuff over the last, 5 years.
I mean, it started with Twilight. So, and also a little Harry Potter, but let's be honest, mostly Twilight. But, so I've been just a fan of him since then. And when it got announced that he was going to be Batman, that's cool. So I'm very excited to see it.
That's cool. Ronnie, what is Ronnie saying? Ronnie says he's watching. Ronnie is watching.
Is he talking in third person now?
He says, yes. He says, can Scott give any advice on a family game that is great for 75-year-olds?
Yes, Ronnie, I can, because I have proof of this, and we'll talk later.
Really? Wow.
Sure.
Scott with the win.
Yeah.
Coming in clutch.
Says as much as I'm tired of Batman movies, he will go see this one. Gary, who had pretty much the same reaction I think that I did, is chiming in and saying, looks like Batman with a 7 vibe. That's interesting that you should mention that, because that's one of my points.
Like the movie 7?
Yes. David Fincher. I think that the movie looks a lot like David Fincher, which is that's pretty cool. I'll talk more about that in a minute. Jennifer says she loves Robert Pattinson, but I'm not impressed with the trailer. She is not sold on it.
Wow, that's shocking.
So let's go to Scott.
I didn't watch any of this fandom stuff until an hour or so before we were scheduled to do this show. So all you guys have been going crazy and like you're just seeing the Hardy Boys for the first time and you're a 12-year-old girl. So you guys are all been going nuts, and
dude, no one knows what the Hardy Boys is anymore.
It's an old WWE tag team.
I don't need that disrespect, first of all.
You screamed, though, didn't you, when you were a little girl? Because you were doing your dances. Anyway, if you ever went to a live event, you know what I'm talking about. That was the audience for the young girls was the Hardy Boys. Anyways, that's how they sold T-shirts. You guys went crazy all weekend over this thing, and after seeing the trailer,
so did the internet.
I know. After seeing the trailer, I can see why. I mean, Robert Pattinson doesn't feel like Robert Pattinson. I forgot or even only knew he was Robert Pattinson because you guys kept telling me he was Robert Pattinson. He did not look like, was it Edward or Squidward or whatever
his name was Edward, Colin.
Oh, I'm a vampire. Oh, I'm kind of goth.
We're going to have words after this, Scott.
Thank God for Edward. I'm going to call him Edward. Thank God for Edward that he got a different role so people will forget the shiny vampire movies. And it looked good, right? I mean, it looked grim and dark and dirty. And
that's what I thought, Gary.
Did we see what he say?
He says he thought that you meant the Detective Brothers.
Me too. Me too.
I'm not as old as you guys are.
Yeah.
In the trailer, did we see Did we see an African American Jim Gordon? Is that correct?
Yes, we did.
Okay, I thought that was a good,
that is Jeffrey Wright from Westworld.
Oh, it's what now?
Jeffrey Wright from Westworld. Okay,
I haven't watched that. Anyways, I thought that was a
very talented actor.
Yeah, I thought that was a cool move.
He's going to be
grim. It's dark. It's grim, dark, and dirty, like all Batman movies are, and we're all going to go see it. And I'm kind of in that phase right now where I'm kind of a little Batmaned out. I even said that in my Prime review, but it looks good. It looks good. It's going to make a lot of money, and DC desperately needs a hit. They need a win in their side, and I hope this gives it to them. So,
right, good stuff. Shawn, what do you think?
Well, as far as the needing a hit to any of their franchises, Joker, all on its own, banked $1 billion.
Aquaman,
sure, but it wasn't.
Aquaman
it really wasn't a super villain. It really wasn't a super villain movie, though. It was not superheroes.
But I'm saying it's just a movie with these characters. This particular Batman, it's in its own universe. It's not tied to anything else in the DC cinematic universe. So it is its own animal.
Yeah. Before you go past that, since you brought it up,
you meant that's
since you bring that up, let's talk about that for a minute. They just confirmed that this is not the new Batman in the DCEU.
Right.
This is just like Joker. This is in yet another universe.
I do wonder if he will reprise the role of this character in Flashpoint with all of the other Batman. That would be interesting.
I think that's almost definite.
But beyond that, it definitely does have a very Seven movie vibe to it. It's obviously this is a detective story. It is going to be primarily a detective story. They're trying to get away from the just punching and bashing superhero. So, rock on. I'm still not convinced about Robert Pattinson as Bruce Wayne. As I've said before, anybody can be Batman. Anybody. It doesn't matter. It's primarily a stuntman anyway. It doesn't matter. With the cowl on the head, it doesn't matter. What we need is a good Bruce Wayne. I still hold that Ben Affleck is by far my favorite Bruce Wayne ever. Yeah. And I'm looking forward to seeing what Pattinson can bring to this to that character to kind of make it his own and what he can bring to the table.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm thinking about actually coming out with like a video where I kind of break this down because I dig this sort of stuff. But basically, this trailer has all the major players. You see Catwoman in it. You see the new Penguin in that, which is an unrecognizable Colin Farrell. You see the new Jim Gordon. You see the look of this thing. You are going to get a detective Batman. You're also going to get a younger, more inexperienced Batman, a Batman who hasn't established his reputation yet, which is, I think, very interesting. The director here is Matt Reeves. I haven't been particularly blown away with anything that Matt Reeves has done up to this point. He's mostly known for doing the Planet of the Apes films. So I think that's, he obviously could do a tentpole film. But this is kind of on another level, and I have some theories on that, but I'm not going to go into why that's the case here. I think this looks like David Fincher. We've mentioned it 2 or 3 times, like Zodiac. If you've seen Zodiac, it definitely has that look to it. That's pretty cool. I like that. I think that this is a pretty good looking Batman. The suit is sleek and looks like obviously built for a little bit of action, a little different than Affleck's kind of armored suit where he looks like a tank. This Batman looks faster and, more agile.
So you find Robert Pattinson attractive? I
think that, speaking about Robert Pattinson, that I think he pulled off the look. He's an older guy now. This wouldn't have worked 5 years ago, but now he's a little older. He's playing an earlier Batman, and I think I'm convinced. I'm pretty happy with the way he looks.
I am too.
You know, and I think if you look at CaseyJane's reaction to this, that you're probably going to have the theater filled not just with guys who want to see Batman beat people up, but you're going to have it filled with women who want to see Robert Pattinson. Not a bad strategy.
It's a perfect couples movie.
Not
he
bad.
gets to watch it. She gets to look at Robert Pattinson. Like, what more can you ask for?
There it is.
A decent story.
All right, you know
we
what?
We might actually get a decent story here. We're basically getting.
I have to concede. If all the rumors are correct, what they're basing this movie on, this is going to be a fantastic story.
It's interesting that
was the villain that we were seeing Hush?
No.
Okay, that's good.
No,
because that was my first guess.
The Riddler is one of the major villains and the one who's creating the mystery that Batman is trying to solve. You also have the origin stories of Penguin and Catwoman, and maybe a few people. Someone's mentioned that the Court of Owls is involved in this, which is super cool if that's the case, because I really dig them.
In fact, if you look at Pattinson's armor, it is very reminiscent of the Court of Owls. The spikes on his forearm, the way the armor plating is cut on his body and his arms and whatnot that you can see. There's some rumor that as this progresses, we possibly will find that the Waynes, not Bruce, but the Waynes were actually members of the Court of Owls, and so that's going to add to the prolonged story, the overarching story to these films. So
I think that's pretty cool.
Rock and roll.
Gary's mentioning one of the films that I was talking about when I said the sort of films that Pattinson has done over the last few years, which is The Lighthouse, which I haven't seen. I really want to see it. I know that it's black and white and weird, which sounds great to me, actually. And Walt says he's looking forward to the detective aspect. We've never seen that in films. We've never seen him be the Dark Knight detective. So that is also very cool.
In The Dark Knight, they tried to put a bit of that, but they really relied on the action to push that movie. So we didn't get as much as we should.
Nothing's wrong with that. I'm pretty excited about maybe getting some detective work. And I think that according to what Matt Reeves says, we're going to get a little bit of a character study, not just of Batman and Bruce Wayne, but all of these characters. He's going to, make them at the beginning of their careers and maybe a little bit more raw and maybe not as, fully realized and stuff. I think it's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Looks good. Hello, Task Force Geek fans. Thank you for watching our video. If you enjoy our content, please leave a like, leave a comment, or you could subscribe and hit that bell so that you'll get notified every time that we put out a new video. Your individual help helps a lot. Thank you.